headed to the Tonto National Monument. Early in the morning, it's a little after 8 o'clock, and it's rained a little last night. It's overcast, about 50 degrees, and Jim and Ann, Betty and I are ripe with anticipation.
Headed on another adventure.
Yes, headed on another adventure.
All these marvelous years. Probably what saved us.
That is just gorgeous over there. That is just gorgeous over there.
You're going to have a good chance here.
Oh my goodness, yeah. That is just gorgeous. No, that's okay, Jim. That's fine. My goodness, look at that. Wow, that's with all those power lines aren't there.
That's not pretty.
God, somebody really screwed that up. Roosevelt Lake.
Isn't that what they're going to do now when they're putting this power line out there on Kinney Road to go to Mexico? That's what I think, and it's going to look probably like this. And boy, they've been fighting it.
Tonto National Monument.
About every mile they
Open
have
day.
to stop.
Thank you, Jim.
So you can
Excellent. So we're driving in, and
But the Golden Gate Passage. I'm not going to say anything about
these are the Tonto ruins that are close by.
She probably would recognize it.
Early in the morning, it's about 8:20. Oh, that's gorgeous views from here out in the valley. Well, we're all saddled up and ready to go on our trip. We're in between. It needs to be either 20 degrees warmer or 20 degrees colder.
Right.
Well, this is the valley looking to the north from the Tonto National Monument and cliff-dwelling ruins. And this is the valley where they used to farm. It's an interesting day. It's sunny, but it's chilly. The wind chill is somewhat uncomfortable. Makes it uncomfortable. But we're going to be heading out in about 15 or 20 minutes. God, that's beautiful with the clouds. The clouds moving across the mountains there. This little part of the mountain is all silhouetted, and the wind shows you how much the wind is blowing the clouds away. And it's really dramatic. Very pretty. And this is the group of hikers that are going up to the upper ruins.
A lot of it has not been excavated, and that's why one of the reasons why it's closed to the public. The rooms that were excavated were done mainly because stabilization. They needed to stabilize the wall. And as we go through the first part of it is a canyon, creek bed. Where it came from, an archaeologist discovered these dwellings in the late 1800s. And he knew that there were people here. Since when he written history, and since they lived near the Salt River or on the Salt River, it's just kind of speculation on what could have happened. There wasn't anything to reference. The prickly pear, the javelinas eat these. They'll eat them with the spines on everything. So they could have kind of gathered around or kept track of where these patches were to find javelina.
Yeah, we're walking down through the stream bed, heading on out. Now we're headed on. And down the trail. I'll intercut some audio of this later on. Yeah, it gets a little stickier as we go up. Really sticky. On up. another reflection point going up.
Or take as many off as they needed to have it thread-like, and then the spine would be the needle, so they'd sew with it. And then they'd add on more fibers. That way they wouldn't have to strip another one to have a needle.
A natural door. Look at this.
As the agave knife would come from that, they would chip that off and be a flat piece, and they would kind of make the edge to where they can strip the agave leaf.
And I shifted positions. I'm up here near the front.
Oh my goodness.
Betty's at. Yeah.
The dorm that you know from one that you
Yeah. There we go. Down here.
Yes, I saw that. Deer tracks right there.
Remember, this is what we call Tootle land.
Yeah.
These, what they look like agaves or yucca
This is
plants
what he's talking about over there.
Yeah.
with the long stalk that are so tall to make sandals, or they'd use the fibers for string. They'd make rope with them. They'd use the stalk either for a walking stick or maybe some sort of construction of their. It wasn't very strong. It's similar to balsa wood.
This is the upper. This is the upper room. My goodness.
As you get up on the switchbacks over here, you'll realize it's a little bit easier than climbing. Morning, the sun's hitting that just right. That's a beautiful picture.
We got a lot of switchbacks to go up to get on up there. This is down in the valley.
Yeah, the lady that wanted to know about the needle. There's.
Way
Here's,
down the valley.
Yes.
this is what
Where they used to
the
go
fibers
farm.
look like.
They want me out front so I can do more pictures. Yeah, we're getting a lot better view of the valley.
I just hope we had some of that rain and Tucson this way too.
Deer tracks.
Notice the deer
Yeah.
come down off the.
Through the years, there's been erosion, and I'm sure the trail, the original trail's not there, but being humans, I'm sure they took the path of least resistance. You know, they would get up there. There's 1,120 acres that make up the National Monument, and there have been 65 sites found on those on this 1,100 acres.
That's really a neat shot. Down the valley. And I had to come all the way back up here. Now we're
Getting
on.
to look at stuff, but that's what's
Oh, that's all right.
slowing us down.
That's all right.
Distinguishing marks or factors of the barrel between the saguaro. The barrel cactus has curved spines on it, and the ribs aren't as prominent. They would expand out and look almost smooth. They just hang on. They soak up all the moisture and conserve.
That's a lot better view of the valley. Yeah, we're a lot closer to the ruins. Folks.
Everybody okay?
We're it's real windy in this valley. The rangers have wind here all the time. Coming down this valley. Keep going back and forth to get up to the higher elevation so we can walk across to the ruins. We're at 3,200 feet now. Right down there at the end where the gentleman's just turned the corner. Where we get up to the ruins. Oh, we had a water stop here. Some more expansive view. We got these turkey vultures up here that they're just gliding all over the place. That's what it sort of looked like. Beautiful shot. What a beautiful shot. Oh my goodness. Well, we're here.
3390. A little break, and then we'll go through the ruins, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. In the meantime, ask all the questions you like. I'll try to answer them the best I can. Where do we go?
You should get the background of the
Where do you want me to get?
Well, where you get this in the back.
I did. I did. I did.
Because that's what it's
From the view that exists at the upper range.
Where the rubber tire hangs from the dead tree. And that was the address of their summer home down in the canyon.
Oh, we were up there last year. Take
You
somebody
go to
stand
Tucson
for that.
then. You go to Tucson then. You don't have to worry about it.
I'll tell you, it's
rock
just
structures.
unreal. You know, for anybody
What
up
they
that's
built.
used to up north and where there's humidity to have dew point at -5 and you know, humidity at.
It dries me out, I find.
Oh, and I know I wake up. And I
roof where they're using balsam saguaro.
so
I
dry.
put the shower on in the motel last night.
For chewing gum, and when the juice or lost its flavor or got dry, pardon me, they just spit it out. There's a little, we call it quid, and it's just a little ball of fiber. And there's probably 3 or 4 of them up in this room. There's some down in the museum in the visitor center, but I'll show you some up here, along with some other artifacts. But a lot of people come in, what are these little things? And that's what they are. There's no formation.
This is quid.
Holes, and they could have used them for cubby holes or
They
storage
chewed.
spaces. We've got our first big kid in the water now.
Fascinating. So that's
Yeah, they didn't
1,000 years
leave
old.
that.
Interesting.
If you notice over here, and they use these are monos, whatever they could, and they crush it up into cornmeal.
There's a cornmeal.
And of course, the longer you grind it, the more finer it get. And you'll see different ones that have a higher side. They use it as a wok or to pour with. This opened end, they lift it up and pour it into a basket or what have you. But that's how they, ground their corn and jojoba beans. You see fingerprints in areas where they, plaster things. And the roof, these are the saguaro ribs, and then they put the. And this would have to be thick enough to support upstairs, people upstairs. Plus, thick enough to where they can build a fire pit too.
Back the other way.
They had little peepholes, or could have been communication ports.
How many months of the year do you spend there?
Well, we're staying there now full time.
For the summer too?
It's either for when they cross, they lean on that to get across, or either for to place stuff things on as they're crossing through or handing it to the next room. These are the same type of wood they've used for the ceiling, the lintels, and this is all original.
How much of this has been restored?
Probably about 5% of it.
Okay.
Just that pipe.
Yeah. Well, the little things like this to hold up. They didn't know how to do it. But I'll point out a few things that have been restored.
The view out the window. Fascinating.
He didn't want to
They got to get out
walk
somewhere,
back.
though.
They get out this way, go another way, another exit. But they would close these up. You'd find all the way down through here. You'll see doors that have been closed up.
Walk back into the rooms.
One of the larger rooms, and you can see doors have been closed up.
Door is closed up. These are shards.
Is that a route back there?
No, this is corn cob.
Oh, my word.
This is
Look
could be
at
a
the size
rib
of
of
the
something.
corn cob.
These are all
yeah,
pottery
here's-
shards.
A rock with corn
Interesting.
cob indentations. Another piece of pottery. They could have done a lot of things
Another
on this
piece of
boulder
pottery.
here.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They had
That
something
he's picking up a piece of the corn.
about this one.
That's, tiny corn cobs. Fascinating.
This is a sample of some of the pottery.
The pottery?
The pottery that they did. The colors are still on it.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Isn't that pretty?
That is gorgeous.
It's even got little gold flecks, what looks
Yeah.
like gold flecks.
Yeah. This is one of the doorways, or windows, and this is another one.
Getting the light and the dark combined.
I zoom back before you look at the outside. It's really fascinating. Just fascinating.
Go from 3.5 to 8.
Talk about the T-shape or a partial.
Yeah.
It could have been for this,
Oh, yeah. I like
you know,
Okay, that's good.
putting something on it.
Yeah,
Say like, I don't know, somebody gathering something here, and they're just, you know, for the next person over here to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
place it back and forth.
fascinating.
If you can look close, there's a little, looks like rays of sunlight that were put into there.
Yeah,
And another place where the doors were big. They had
another place where the doors are filled
As
in.
you go down through here, we can't go any further down than where you are now. But the rooms are about half the size. Some rooms are like this, about this size. Some rooms are even maybe this size. Because if more people came up here, the less space they had to build. There's rooms over here. This could have been a little communication port, talking or passing things back and forth to their neighbors. You'll see a lot of walls at the lower dwelling if you have a chance to get there that are coming apart like that because of the cold butt. You can see how it was formed. And this was a little basin in the floor. So they, I guess after all, they decided, well, let's build something that catches water. So they built this wall. And they had a little water fountain there that they used.
Now, does water still seep through there at all at any time of the year?
It's been, with the water table low as it is, we're not going to get anything out of it. But if it was high enough, yeah, there'd be water seeping through here. There's been 65 sites found on the 1,100 acres of the monument. And there'll be an area,
They call this whole thing a site?
and there'll be rooms here, you know, dwellings, more dwellings, and then down through here, there'd be crops. Like this, whoever lived here would farm this area. The men, they found men, remains of men along the edge of the boundary. They're all facing the same direction, north-south position. They're all in the supine position with their head.
Now we're going out. Random. It's a remnants of one of the rooms that have all been that the original people
But
lived in.
of course, all this.
This is a tiny, tiny room. You can't get in. This is a small doorway.
They'll walk through and just monitor, make sure varmints hadn't got up here and dug holes into the walls and, you know, dug up anything. Or it's on an angle. And somebody else decided they wanted to move upstairs, so they wanted to build on. So you can see here where it was filled in to make it level.
Where does this structure actually go? Did it go any higher than that?
No, it went just up to there.
So they would have had it coming in way up there.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why a lot
the
of it was on
tallest
the
the
roof,
structure is.
because it was dark.
Overall. Headed out.
No, this is
Okay, Mike's giving us the
Marie?
overview.
Marie, wait a minute, I want to get you going too.
Which end?
Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead. And we're going in there. Okay. So this is one where got a good picture of it. Oh, that's good. And then down in the room, small room, really hard to get to. Fascinating.
Turn it a little bit to the left, Chuck. You see some beams coming out if you stick it back.
Oh, really?
See them back there?
Oh, yeah.
Walls falling down over time. These walls are 800 years old.
Which side of Ann?
600 to 800. Depends on the last room here.
Mike
Not as old.
talking to us.
But you can tell on that where he's standing is a room. Inside there's a room. There's 2 rooms, you know.
Betty's
How many rooms did you say was in here?
looking off in the distance trying to find a bird.
40. Where'd they get them all?
No clue
Red tail.
on
Beautiful
how they
shot.
live.
And isn't it strange that there's no markings on walls or anything here like there are in so many
Beautiful.
other places, you know, where they've kept some type of history.
Yeah.
God, it's gorgeous.
And there's no
shot.
indication anywhere outside this area
It's a lot easier for me to shoot down.
of their culture. The way, and I'm sure
the
you've been
thermal, he
around,
climbing
y'all have indicated
Oops, lost
different dwellings,
Left
and it's not the same. You don't see dwellings built like this anywhere else. Their architecture, their way they remains. Where he's standing is a room. Inside there's a room. There's 2 rooms, you know. Look like
There's an overall view. Looking to the south. Betty's coming along. Walkway. And listening to Mike talk more about the area. He said we've only been to a few of the rooms. Get an overall view of the area. Still shooting into the sun.
And then when they warm up or whatever, they start growing again. And that's what it looked like, you know, someone put a rubber band or string around it. So that could be, you know, there could have been seasonal rains. I don't know how much.
Well, I was wondering, you know, whenever you look at one of these places, the first thing I always think about is, hey, they were defending against something. The other thing is that maybe they didn't have a good way of building a roof. And you know, you stop and think, all this construction you see here, none of that is exactly waterproof if you had a long rain. In fact, it'd be really dangerous if you had a long rain and got that clay.
A lot of rain and, yeah.
That thing would wear.
Well, being a desert, you know, there probably wasn't a whole lot of rain. But I don't know.
There's a lot of difference between being under here there and being out there.
Yeah.
When's the evidence of the last habitation here, Mike?
1450.
1450s. Okay. So that early on, I think in 1200, 1100, supposedly there was a big drought that drove a lot of the Anasazi out of some of the other ruins and what have you. So they were still living here a long time after that.
That's true.
So that's interesting.
Look down on the red tail climb.
And Tonto Creek is on the other end.
That's the Salt River.
That's downstream out there. Oh, yeah.
No, this is downstream.
Is it? Yeah.
That's strange.
I would have thought Tonto Creek would have been feeding
Salt
into
River,
it. This would have
way
gone
out
all
there,
over
and that's
the-
Roosevelt Lake on the left.
And
One last shot, and we're headed out. Go ahead down, babe. I can catch up with you. And we're headed out. It's about 1 o'clock, and it took us an hour and a half to get up here. My guess is it'll take us 45 minutes to get down, so we should be down by 2 easily. Now we're headed on down. And
You get ahead and let you get pictures of us coming down the trail.
okay, I'm going to. One last shot, and then out in the area.
This is going to look great because you got to straddle these rocks.
Well, it looks like we're really hikers. We're really doing our thing.
We roll down the hill here. I'm going slow now.
Notice how white the tops of the swarm are. You're seeing them from up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Getting the nice white
bloom or to grow. Yeah,
Come on, guys.
on the new growth.
Yeah.
Where I was before, I couldn't do anything but look at where I was going. You're out on the, yeah. Yeah, that's our view.
Oh, they're looking at these people down here. That's our group that
He's there in the back of that.
is left earlier. We're a long ways away from them.
Does it bother you going downhill? No, well, it depends. I try to.
I'm trying to get enough
I know. Yeah, sometimes that's just the best
enough
way.
shots of these guys coming on down.
I figure when you get down there in the river, we'll just play around with rocks and birds.
Yes, right. Well, we're on the switchback now, taking us down, and the valley off in the distance, the Roosevelt Lake. Well, we've come down quite a ways. This is the ruins up here that we've just left, and it's only 12 minutes. We've come quite a ways in 12 minutes. Well, it's 18 after, and we're down from up there quite a ways, down to 3151 on elevation. Well, we're at 3,050 feet. We're almost at the bottom, and we come down in about 30 minutes. We're down in the wash, probably about halfway out, and we're making good time. Mike caught up with us, and we're stumbling. I'm stumbling through a lot of the rocks here. Come on. Coming down this little precarious walkway here, and Jim's helping Betty.
That rock right there. Yeah.
That's stable.
Yeah.
Yep. You can wiggle it in.
Got it.
Okay, great. Jim's coming down.
Did you see how graceful I am?
Yes, you were. Well, we're on the last leg. We're about 100 yards from the parking lot, and Betty and Jim and Ann are stopped to look at a bird. It's been a really neat day. It took us about 45 minutes to get down, like I suggested.